Good afternoon, welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. Okay, so it's the afternoon, I'm just freshly out of the bath, I'm just going to get changed and go to work. So I thought before I go to work, I would film a quick review and obviously apply my scent of the day. So today, or this afternoon rather, we're going to be looking at this. And this is Brutus by Orto Parisi. Bottle is the same as all of the Orto range and has a different cap. This time it's like a brassy looking thing with, I'm not sure if that's meant to be wood or leather on it, but it's solid, it's beautiful. You know, the presentation of these bottles, I mean, I've got loads of them. They're all glorious, and the liquids are weird colour. All the liquids on the whole of the Orto Parisi range are completely different in colour, and you know the caps are all very much individual. So this came out in 2014, and obviously it's an Alessandro Gualtieri creation, so you know what's coming. There are no notes, so this is all down to opinion and smell. The notes, or you know, the consensus seems to be that the notes are bergamot, mandarin orange, and patchouli. Patchouli, yes. When you read bergamot, mandarin, and orange, you're thinking of a very kind of light, citrusy fragrance, and this is not light. And it's, well, there is a citrus element to it, but this isn't a freshie. This is far from being a freshie. This is. I'll spray a little bit, and actually, let's have a good old spray. Right, I am now Brutus. So it's, I don't know, I've got a very, very strange relationship with this one. As you know, I'm a big fan of Gualtieri's works, and I'm a big fan of the Orto Parisi range, a massive fan of the Orto Parisi range. And I've been umming and ahhing about this one because the reason I like most of the Orto Parisis are they're quite big and bold and different and edgy, and they push the boundaries a little bit. And Brutus doesn't. It's I don't know. Its strengths are its weaknesses. For me, I'm a big fan of Gualtieri's works, and you know, as I've just said, I like the edginess to them. I like the complexity of the fragrances and stuff like that. And I like the fact that they're kind of, some of them are quite hard to like. This one, out of all of the Ortos that I own, in fact, there's only one I don't own, and that's Sturkis, and I'd like to get my hands on that at some point. This is by far the most middle of the road fragrance that I think Alessandro Gualtieri's made that I've smelled. And that is both a bad thing and a good thing. If, for example, you were new to the works, I wouldn't recommend this because it's nowhere near as exciting as some of the others. If you were new to Alessandro Gualtieri, I would recommend this because it's such an easy scent to wear. So, you know, take out of that as you like. What you get with it is, this to me is all about patchouli, and it's all about the light sweetness of the citrus. I don't particularly get an orange vibe. I don't particularly get a bergamot vibe at all. What I get is woodsy, resinous, slightly spicy, maybe a little bit incensey, patchouli, almost going green, but it's not a green fragrance. It's not a citrus fragrance. It's not a green fragrance at all. It's, despite the fact it's quite light, it's still a heavy fragrance. It's when it dries down as well, there's a musk in here. It's not an animalic musk though, so it's not got a sweaty vibe to it or anything like that. It's still I suppose in some respects, I'm going to have to contradict myself here. In some respects, because of that slightly fresh note and the lack of the sweatiness that some of the Ortos have, you could say it's about as fresh as Alessandro Gualtieri gets with the Orto Parisi collection. But I couldn't class this as a freshie. I couldn't class this as a citrus. It's too heavy. The patchouli gives it weight and depth. There's a resinous, balsamic, almost woody note to this, which helps it ground it, if you like. It does have really, really good performance though, and I think, as you know, because this is all guesswork with these fragrances, There's something a bit like ISOE Super in this. I don't get that cedary, pencil shaving-y smell from it, but performance-wise, it lends me to think that there is some kind of ISOE Super type material being used in this fragrance, because it does seem quite airy, and it does smell beautiful. Don't get me wrong; people will compliment you on it, because if you're, it smells nice and it smells airy, and people around you can pick up on it. The sillage is good, the projection is good, the length of the performance on this is very, very good. It lasts me all day without any issues. I wear it, I've applied it now. I'll be getting changed and going to work very soon, and I'll come home and I'll still be able to pick it up on me. So in that respect, the performance is excellent. It's quite linear for one of Gaultieri's. There's no real massive change. The dry down does affect it somewhat. There's almost a hint of black Afghano in this, and I think with all of the darker juiced Orto Parisis, like Toroni, like Boccanera and Brutus, I do pick up a bit of that black Afghano DNA. Now, I don't know if that's just me picking it out because I think it should be there, and then I can imagine smelling it, or it is definitely there. I'd like to think it is definitely there, because it is there, but it's a lot lighter. It's like black Afghano light. So if you're a fan of black Afghano and you find it too much, or if you're a fan of Toroni and you find it too much, then Brutus is perfect. It really, really is, it slots into that mould quite well. If you're a fan of black Afghano and you don't want that hash note, it's not here. If you don't want the smokiness of Toroni, it's here. But by saying that, what I'm also saying is if you own Toroni, if you own black Afghano, or certainly an older formulation of black Afghano, this may be surplus to requirements. You might not need this. But also in the dry down, because of the patchouli that's in this, when it dries down, it almost fluctuates between smelling a little bit like black Afghano light and a little bit like Pardon. It doesn't smell, it's not like a clone of Pardon. So if you're looking at this and thinking, I can get this instead of Pardon because this comes in a 50ml bottle, and Pardon only comes in a 30ml, as in all of the Natsumotos. Don't do that, because this is not a clone of Pardon. It doesn't smell very much like Pardon until Pardon has dried down and Brutus has dried down. Then there is a similarity. And if you get it on your clothes, it will stay on your clothes for a lifetime. And it does seem to smell more on clothes than skin. Certainly on my clothes and my skin, more like Pardon than black Afghano. But it's a very pleasant scent. It also, what it does that's different to the other autos, and one of the reasons why I like it and dislike it at the same level, is when this dries down, this almost has like a designer smell to it. It could easily be like a run-of-the-mill department store fragrance. And I'm not insulting those fragrances at all. Of course I'm not. I've got loads. But what I am saying is when you're looking at someone like Gaultieri and something like the Orto Parisi collection, you're not buying them to smell like a designer fragrance from a department store. You're really, really not. You're buying them to be a niche fragrance that's interesting and exotic and well blended. And it is well blended. It is all of those things, but it's very light, if you like. It's taken me a long time to get this. I thought after I got Seminalis that I'd given up with the autos, and then I got this because I had it sprayed on a card for me when I was in Harrods fairly recently, and I kept smelling the card. It smelled absolutely amazing. The patchouli and everything was just glorious. And then I thought, I'll get it. I'm going to keep the collection going. I will finish the collection. I'm so close, I might as well. So I got it, and I kept smelling the card, and I kept smelling the card. So then I bought the fragrance, and I was a little underwhelmed, in all honesty. I wore it the first time and thought, I think it smelled better on card. And then I wore it again, and then I couldn't stop reaching for it. I absolutely adore it now. But please understand, this is a positive review. Yes, this is a beautiful fragrance, but it's also a negative as well, because it's an underpowered Orto Parisi. When I say underpowered, I don't mean the performance is weak. The performance is not. This is a very strong performer. It's just not got that edginess. It's not got that excitement that I get from the others. Yet I find myself reaching for it all the time because it is so wearable. You could wear this to work. You could wear this to play. You know, take it to, you know, wear it to the pub, wear it to the office, wear it wherever you want, and it will get you through whatever you're doing, and it will smell lovely. It will get compliments as well, but doesn't excite me. It's a functional fragrance. I've got lots of functional fragrances, so I'm still unsure as to why I love this so much, and I do. And this is where, you know, and I said this is going to be quite contradictory, and I'm sorry if I'm giving mixed messages out, but it's a good performing fragrance and it smells lovely. It's just not as bold or as exciting as some of the others from the collection, but it is good. The resinous smell to it, this clever use of patchouli, this slight citrus influence, this almost green moment. I mean, Veridi from the Orto Parisi line, there's obviously a review of that. That's very, very green. This isn't green, but it almost has like a green nuance to it that makes it interesting. I don't really know where I'm going to go with this, to be honest with you. I'm wearing this a lot at the moment and I'm really, really enjoying it. You can't blind buy it. I wouldn't recommend you blind buy anything that Gaultieri's made. You will certainly need to sample it or go in store and smell it. It's a good fragrance. It really is a good fragrance. It's not as, you know, as I said, it's not as exciting as the others, but it's purely, it's a lot more functional than the others. And this, you know, this can be worn anywhere and by anyone. It's totally unisex. It may lead a little masculine, possibly, but I think that's because of the woodsy dry down. But, you know, I would put this down as a totally unisex fragrance. I think any age group can wear it. It's not particularly old, it's not particularly mature, it's not particularly young either. It's not, you know, it's not sort of an overly sweet designer fragrance that sort of I would traditionally sort of think younger people would wear. It is sweet, but it's not overly sweet. The earthy note in this kind of levels it out a bit so it doesn't become too sweet. It's really, really interesting, and the fact that I've had this quite a while now and I've worn it a lot and I still don't really know it. That in itself, I suppose, is quite interesting because, yeah, it's a bit of a conundrum for me, but well worth having a look. If you know, as I said earlier in the review, if Taroni's too much for you and if you don't like the hash note with a black Afghano, and also the new black Afghano's performance isn't particularly good, this has got far better performance. This could be the compromise you're looking for. So please don't write it off. Please try and get a sample of it, and please try and, you know, maybe smell it in store if you're near anyone that carries the range. Because I, you know, I'm a bit confused by it. I'll be completely honest with you there. But I wear it all the time, so I must really, really like it. Do you know what I mean? Interesting. So an Orto Parisi for all occasions. That will be Brutus. There you go. Sorry, very quick review. I'm conscious of the time. I've got to leg it to work because I don't want to be late. So listen, as always, thank you very much for your time. We really enjoy making these videos. Lots more coming, so please keep in touch and we will see you on the next one. Thank you very much for your time. Bye!